Welcome back. This video in the Active Skills Health Hub aims to help you understand more about a condition called stenosis. Achiness, cramping, pain, weakness, or numbness in the buttock, thigh, or calf are among the most common symptoms for people with stenosis. Now, here is the important part. A person can have any one or all of these symptoms. But what's special about stenosis is that those symptoms are commonly made worse by standing or walking, and they feel better when sitting or bending forward. But what is it? What's causing these symptoms? Is it going to get worse? Let's start with the good news. Studies are starting to show that a person can have a meaningful influence over their symptoms and their ability to function using just some simple strategies. We'll talk about these strategies in another video. You can click the link that's on your screen to be taken directly there, or watch that video after you understand a little bit more. What we're going to talk about here is some of the biology behind those ideas. The word stenosis means narrowing. When it happens in the low back, it's called lumbar spinal stenosis. Think of the spine as a column of bones stacked one on top of the other. As the bones line up, they form a tunnel that protects your spinal cord. Think of the spinal cord as a highway of information. Every highway has a series of on-ramps and off-ramps. Those are the nerves, and they leave the spine through a separate set of tunnels. So, with stenosis, there's a narrowing of the highway, or a narrowing of the on-ramps and off-ramps. Think of mild stenosis like one lane of the highway being taken up by construction. For most of the day, traffic can get through fine enough. But if a stopped vehicle takes another lane, the traffic gets squeezed, even if it's not rush hour. Here's what you need to know. Those bones that line up making the tunnel, well, they move as we move. And sometimes when they move, the space naturally gets bigger. That movement is called flexion, and it happens when people bend forward. Sometimes when the bones move, the space naturally gets smaller. That movement is called extension and happens when people bend backward. And usually that movement, extension, is okay, even when the tunnel size gets smaller. It's only one lane of highway and the traffic can still get through. But if the tunnel starts off smaller because of stenosis and then gets even smaller with certain movements, it can get too small. Traffic gets squeezed. And when it happens at the spinal nerves, it's called ischemia, or mechanical compression. And then you get symptoms. Lumbar spinal stenosis is commonly the result of degenerative changes to different structures of the spine. It can affect 1 in 5 adults over the age of 65. Stenosis is a growing health problem and a leading cause of limitations and disability. Symptomatic lumbar spinal stenosis impacts an individual's emotional state and their quality of life. It can impact their physical functions, including walking, recreational activities like sports and golf, standing for social activities, household activities like standing to cook or clean, working and lifting, and even sleep positions. It can even affect how they manage their other health conditions with exercise. If you're at the stage where you're ready to take action with your healthcare provider, watch the next video in our stenosis series called What Can Be Done to learn more. Someone you know, somewhere, is suffering limitations due to lumbar spinal stenosis. Like this video, share it, then subscribe to learn more. The information on this site is provided only as a resource for discussion with your own healthcare provider. You should consult your own healthcare provider before making any healthcare decisions.